What is poppin', guys? You got your coach of the Chimchargers here with my week 1 GBA match versus my good friend Miguel, coach of the Real Marill. Definitely a battle that I know many of you all have been waiting for. Very exciting, a lot of hype going on, and I saw a couple comments on the previous video of the building of the team about making sure my Jirachi was an adamant nature, because I think in the team builder I had a mistake and I put naughty nature, but no worries, I made sure that nothing got impacted in the battle itself. So I'm sure many of you all know, a lot of you guys know Miguel or Magwai, and he's definitely an extremely formidable opponent, past GBA champion, and of course a really good friend of mine. We go way back some time, and he's definitely a solid battler and knows exactly what he's doing for sure, which is really what makes this game so exciting and intense. Definitely was a little anxious going into this battle, just hoping for the best, but you all will see what exactly went down. And as you can see here, Miguel brings a team of Golurk, Registeel, Roserade, Weavile, Blastoise, and Uxie. Automatically, just by looking at this team, I know for a fact that his Stealth Rocker is either Uxie or Registeel, and that he's bringing some sort of offensive Golurk. Weavile and Blastoise I expected for sure, 100%. Those things are just massive threats. Roserade, I wasn't too surprised about either. So overall the matchup is looking kind of in my favor, just by how I formatted my team. And, I've tried to go into this battle with the goal of trying to slow down as many Pokemon as I can with Gyarados' Thunder Wave, and making it a top priority to get rid of Blastoise and Weavile, because those two together, like I just said, definitely top threats for my team. So let's go ahead here and we start this battle off. And Magwai issuing that challenge right there, not even bad. I send out my lead Gyarados, crashing boom bang, as he leads off with his Uxie here. So right off the bat, like I said, trying to get off as much T-Wave as I can, try to slow down his team as much as possible, ensuring that my other Pokemon are faster, because that is the position I want to be in. He T-Waves me, expecting me probably to be a Dragon Dancing set, where now I just reveal my own T-Wave. CBB ain't taking any of that right now. He's about to just cripple this team. So we got off the T-Wave here. I switch out now into my my Pokegame, which is my Jirachi, and I knew that he wasn't going to T-Wave again. I was pretty confident about that, so I'm able to switch this thing in pretty safely and go for the substitute, as he tries to T-Wave me here, but fails because of course I have my substitute up, and now I can freely just go for the Iron Head here and try to get off the flinches, of course. He breaks through, goes for the foul play, so good for him there. Able to break my sub, and I don't really want to waste HP and trying to make him, fall for paralysis here. So I make the best play that I can possibly make and just go right back into CBB, my Gyarados. And at this point, he can't really do much to this Gyarados. It's a very bulky, very defensive set, like I said, or like I explained in the team building video. But he decides to switch out here, as I switch into my Gyarados, into his Registeel. And I mean, I can't really touch Registeel too much. I know he's going to be Stealth Rocks, I feel, since he was running Foul Play T-Wave. So I just go into my Jamvat here, which is my Donphan, as he does go for the Stealth Rocks here. And I mean, Donphan can probably beat Registeel, I felt. I just went for the Earthquake here, and it is faster than Registeel, I'm pretty sure, naturally. So he goes for the Magnet Rise here, which prevents me from Earthquaking again, but that's not too much of an issue because I can still get rid of these rocks. I can still set up my own rocks. I can still do a lot of things right now. So I just go for the Rapid Spin here, get rid of these Stealth Rocks off of my side of the field, because I do have some Pokemon that are weak to rocks. Don't want them on my side at all. He just goes for the Seismic Toss here, just trying to get some damage on me. Perfectly fine. That's fair. Not a bad play there. And what I do now is after he restores HP, I set up my own rocks here. So getting up these rocks are nice. His way of getting rid of rocks, of course, is his Blastoise. As you can see, he's going to try to set up his own rocks, and I mean, I'm pretty free to just spin these rocks away as he tries to set them up. Keep in mind, I of course do have a Custap Berry, so the closer I get to that range, the better it'll be. If he keeps his rocks, I can sort of whittle myself down if I switch in Donphan and activate my Custap Berry at some point. So I'm Rapid Spinning here. He goes to the Seismic Toss again. I'm in yellow range HP, of course, so getting closer to my Custap range. I decide now that I'm going to switch out here into IMP Zamrock here, my Keldeo, and of course this is the CircumS-Dance Keldeo here. He sets up his rocks. I decide to make an aggressive double switch here, sort of expecting his Roserade to come in on my Keldeo. So what I do here is I bring in Keldeo to try to scare him out, and then I decide to switch out here into my Jirachi. Back into Pokemon once again. Shout out Joey. We IDM we in this. Alright. And he brings out his Rose right here. So now I'm pretty safe to sub. Unless he has like HP fire or something and he's like max speed timid. I made sure that I was faster than a Rosary that is like more defensive or just modest in general. And I can literally just click substitute here. He does realize he has to switch out, so because he can't really touch this Jirachi at all. So he goes into his Registeel thinking he can wall it. And this is when I'm sure when he's narrating this, he must have realized that this subset, the next move that I'm about to reveal right here is just perfect versus his team. And as you can see here, we're both recovering, so a little bit of HP each time we switch in. But now, as you can see, I packed the Drain Punch, and this Drain Punch here, of course, will be doing some decent damage to that Registeel, allowing me to keep subbing as well as healing at the same time. And as you can see, I EV'd this thing in order for Seismic Toss not to break my substitute. So I do have enough for see, I have 204 HP, which means that basically Seismic Toss is doing 50 each time. I have enough, I have more than what the substitute is required to be broken, so I can keep my substitute. So he decides to switch out here into his Yuxi. At this point, I'm behind a sub. This thing is paralyzed, and I can just Iron Head this thing after I Drain Punch here, as he switches out from Registeel. The chances of me flinching this thing down to death is extremely high in my favor, for sure. Because I'm behind a sub. I can just spam Iron Head. He's paralyzed, so this Yuxi's pretty much gone, and he decides to stay in here and sack it. Which I don't really see another option for him because this Jirachi's gonna be putting in a lot of work. He can't really afford to let anything else get too weakened. So I can understand definitely why he's trying to or why he just tried to bring this thing in to break my sub, since it wasn't really doing much else, I guess, since I'm not really packing a lot of sweepers that this specific Yuxi with Foul Play can deal with. So anyways, Yuxi goes down to my Jirachi with the Iron Head flinches and paralysis, of course. Now he brings in Blastoise, and now I get to reveal my third coverage move here. He decides to stay in, of course, Mega. That's why he brought it in. And Pokeaim, my boy Pokeaim here is packing this one move called Thunder Punch, and that's going to be putting in some decent work here. Decent damage, of course. It's not really quite enough to 2-hit KO, but it does bring him down to sort of a way where I can 3-hit KO it, I guess. He goes for the Scald here. Substitute fades. So at this point, I'm thinking, alright, I don't want... this Jirachi is definitely useful. So I'm going to go into my CBB, my Gyarados, and, just bring this thing out. And I kind of had a feeling in the back of my mind that he'd be packing HP Electric. There wasn't really much else I could have gone into. Donphan I kind of needed just in case for the Custap. I didn't really see Gyarados putting in as much work anymore. So I just pretty much just sacked here. I kind of had a feeling he had HP Electric. So what I did was I basically just sacked off Gyarados here and took this as an opportunity to bring in my Keldeo. I brought him a boy Zamrock here, right? And this Keldeo, watch this. I go for the SD right here, right? I go for the SD. And so Miguel decides to go for the Dragon Pulse here. Perfectly fair play. He probably expected me to be Secret Sword or some special set, and he would have probably lived it. And now I can fire off a close combat with this +2 Keldeo. My boy Zamrock coming through, knocking out the Blastoise. That's one Pokemon, so that's one threat gone. Blastoise was a threat, that's gone now. And he brings in his Weavile. Now I'm packing a move on this Keldeo that can actually hit the Weavile. I'm pretty sure he has coverage enough to knock out my Keldeo. I go for the Aqua Jet here, and because rocks are still up on his side, that puts him down in a range where he cannot switch out Weavile. He just lost his spinner. Weavile is already down to red HP, cannot switch into rocks anymore, so I take this opportunity to go into my Baby Chimp. Baby Chimp right here. So Baby Chimp's gonna show his father what he's got. So he's gonna go for the knockoff. Nice Choice Scarf knockoff here, outrunning the Weavile and knocking it out for good. And now Miguel, of course, is left with 3 Pokemon, I believe. He brings in his Roserade here, and I don't really want to risk Sneasel just because of the fact that Sneasel can still put in work just by spamming Icicle Crash and other knockoffs and stuff like that. I bring in my Donphan here just to sack it for sacking purposes. He ends up going for the Leech Seed though, and this is perfect for me. This is absolutely perfect because now I am actually guaranteed to be in Custap range, and because I am, I can actually now fire off an Earthquake once I get there. So as you can see, the Leech Seed, of course, brings me down to that perfect range where I can just go ahead here, eat up my Custap Berry, Jamvad is hungry. Jamvad is hungry for that berry, and he goes for the earthquake here, shaking the ground. Definitely a prehistoric earthquake if I do say so myself. And yeah, Roserade is able to just knock us out, but we did bring Roserade down to a pretty low amount of health. And I mean, now at this point, I literally can just bring in my Rachi here and just sub and pretty much just win the game, because he has a Roserade which can't really touch me at all, I think. And you know, Registeel can't break my substitute with his Seismic Toss. And Golurk, I mean, Golurk's the last Pokemon that's left. He just goes for a Spike here, so we know now he can't touch us because he had Leech Seed, Giga Drain, probably Sludge Bomb and Spikes or something like that. And now I just go for the Iron Head here and make contact, knocking out this Roserade, and that is gone. He's got 2 Pokemon left here. He decides that he's going to be bringing out his Registeel. And you know, Registeel here can't, of course, break the sub at all. I can literally just go for the Drain Punch on this turn coming up here, as you can see. Get some recovery back. Yeah, he's not able to live that, so he's going to be going down to this Drain Punch. And we are almost back at full HP. I think we're back at full HP with this leftovers that's coming up. I think, yeah, we are back at full HP. Now, oh, almost. Yeah, almost full HP. Alright, so he brings up the Golurk here. This Golurk, he did tell me, was a Rock Polish set. So, I go for the Iron Head here. I do get, as you can see, I do get the crit and the flinch, which is pretty unfortunate for him. Thinking about it, though, it wouldn't have mattered. If he had Rock Polished, my Choice Scarf Sneasel was still faster. And if he had Rock Polished again, he'd still be in range where I could literally just substitute with my Rachi and just stall him out of... just make him kill himself with Life Orb, because he was running Life Orb on his Golurk. It was confirmed. And you know, that first Iron Head, if he did get up a Rock Polish, then he would have to get another one in order to outrun my Scarf Sneasel. And if he didn't get another Rock Polish up, then, or if he just decided to attack my Rachi, it would be in range where you know, well, my Sneasel would still be faster at that point. So no matter what the Golurk did, I mean, I still would have come out in the end with my Jirachi here. I think just the way that I formatted this team, especially like with sub Rachi, I don't think he had much for that, and I don't think his team could have handled that better than he did. He definitely played really well. It was definitely an honor to play Miguel here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in his future matches, and I hope he does well. And you know, he definitely will, because he's a great player. And you know, go ahead and check him out. Of course, I'll link his channel down below, and you can kind of see the match from his point of view versus me. I'm gonna probably watch that as well right now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this match. We come through with our first ever GBA win, starting this week off nice and clean. And GG, it's Emvee. We are charged up. Chimchargers going in, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace, guys.